This is On the Sidelines with Box 13.
Welcome back into the On the Sidelines podcast. I'm your host, Ethan McReynolds. Here, as always, my co-host, Dante Dante Jackson. The show champions, Dante.
Yes.
Here we are.
Yes.
I don't really have words. I'm so happy to be reunited with you after
Yes,
the
we
Super
missed
Bowl.
you. We missed
I
you,
saw
man.
your guys' live stream on here. It was absolutely incredible. Dante, we're champions. What do you got to say?
Exactly what you just said. We are champions, and this is the show of champions. Great job by the Seahawks sealing the deal, and I don't even think it was close. I mean, especially towards the end of this season, the Seahawks were just the momentum. You couldn't stop it. We talked about it ad nauseum. The run game, Sam Darnold, the defense, it all came together, and now we are champions.
It feels so surreal. Going through the season, towards the end, it felt like it was going in that direction, but to actually experience it. I mean, we're a day from the parade happening in Seattle. That's really where it all kicked in for me. All of the emotions, just the whole city rallying together. There's no debate. Is Sam Darnold better than Geno Smith?
Yes.
Is John Schneider washed as an executive with his drafts and all this internal debate among Seattle fans. And I mean, look at the Mariners. There's so much internal debate. I mean, less so because the team is winning now, but winning fixes all.
Yes.
And it was just so magical out there at that parade yesterday.
Yes, the parade, like you said, everything was so surreal. I mean, we had a celebration, yesterday, over 1 million people, and everybody was excited for the Seahawks. And this team is different than the 2013, 2014 team. We've compared them all season, but this team had its own personality, a workmanlike personality where they all embraced each other. It seems like they're closer together. You even see the offensive player of the year in JSN. Make no mistake, he's saying, hey, defense wins championships. They're the best in the world. He heaped praise upon his defense. That's something we didn't see in the past, and I love to see it now.
It's spectacular. We got a lot planned for you today.
Yes.
So much sound, so much reaction. Mike Macdonald did a one-on-one with our Alyssa Charleston-Smith. We're going to get to that in a bit. Just so much stuff from the aftermath of the Super Bowl into the incredible celebration that was yesterday. Over a million people estimated at that. But let's talk about the game. Well, first of all, let's talk about the season. Seahawks had the highest season point differential this century, plus 246, the most since 1999. I think we've been talking about LOB versus MOB and all this stuff. I think that the LOB defense was better than this defense, but I think this is the best team in franchise history. Just they beat you in every imaginable way that you could win a football game. They just came at you from all different angles. Defense, offense, special teams, all three phases, they dominated all season long.
Yes, and I heard people put it this way, like the LOB was a more dominant side of the ball, definitely, than any other team they've had. This is a more complete team. So what they're saying is this is the most complete team, Seahawks team in history. So, and I would have to agree with that. When you talk about offense, defense, and special teams, now a lot of people, including myself, complained about the offense a lot of the season, definitely. But this turned out to be one of the best offensive seasons for a Seahawks team ever.
Most
when
points
you look
in
at
franchise history.
When you look at the numbers, most wins, and that's what I think history will show as far as Sam Darnold and his legacy. He's a winner. All right, let's call it what it is. The last 2 seasons, he had 14 with Minnesota. He has a franchise record regular season 14 here in Seattle, and went on to win a championship. So Sam Darnold now should be categorized as a winner. Forget if he can throw the ball through a wall. Forget if he can scramble as fast as Lamar Jackson or whatever all those top quarterbacks do. He's not Josh Allen. He's a winner. That's what he is. And now he's a champion.
He's a spectacular starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
I would go as far to call him an elite starting quarterback in the NFL. And the Seahawks have him. He actually, let's see, I wrote this down. He's got the 13th highest cap hit in the NFL. I mean, the Seahawks have a bargain deal with him. Let's talk about Sam Darnold. He's only the second quarterback ever in NFL history, joining Tom Brady to win 14 games in back-to-back seasons. Sam Darnold, your quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, since 2022, he's been better than anyone is giving him credit for. He's won 78% of his games with a 99.4 quarterback rating since 2022. Let's compare him to another great, maybe the one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, Patrick Mahomes. Since 2022, Mahomes has won 73% of his games with a 95.7 quarterback rating. Sam Darnold has been better than Patrick Mahomes since 2022. That's the guy that we're talking about. And he has shut every single person up. Not everybody. People are still talking about him somehow.
Yes.
Somehow, I don't know how, but people are still talking about him. And the best thing is he stays steady. I mean, it's not... Geno Smith was really quick when he came back to rub it in people's faces.
Yeah, I didn't write back.
Didn't write back.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Sam Darnold, I always believed in myself. My family always believed in me. The fans, you guys always believed in me. It's just coming back to that support base because that's the only way that he got through it. I just think it's so cool. His leadership style is so awesome. He's so humble. He's all about the team. And I know it's just so much cliche, but he actually lives it out. And you can just feel that in his personality.
Yes, and I love his personality, just like I would compare it to Coach Macdonald, Mike Macdonald.
Yes.
They both stay calm, even keeled, don't get too high, don't get too low. So your two leaders, the two men that should be leading this team, your quarterback and your head coach, have the same exact personality where you can lean on them. If you're a member of the offense like a Kenneth Walker or a JSN or anybody else that might get a little excited, you look at him. He's the calm before the storm right there, or during the storm, actually, and so is the head coach in Mike Macdonald. I love what I see out of Sam Darnold now. A lot of criticism has came his way simply because last year he won 14 games. He had Justin Jefferson. All right, he totally switches teams to the Seattle Seahawks. JSN has a year, the best wide receiver in the league this year, and he takes his team to a championship. So what they gonna say now? And I put up a picture, and I'm not trying to promote my my social media or anything.
Drop the handle. Drop the handle.
You can check me out, DJack at DJack the Photog on Instagram,
yes.
Dante Jackson on Facebook. I put a picture up there. AI did it, but I came up with the idea. I said Sam is now a Ghostbuster. We put him in a Ghostbuster.
Oh, I
uniform.
saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's like they say what they gonna say now. What he seeing now? Well, he's seeing champagne, he's seeing cigars, and he's seeing that championship Lombardi Trophy. That's what Sam is seeing now.
Well, you talk about Mike Macdonald and the culture, and for me, I wrote this down because I wanted to remember. Culture spreads faster when you have examples at the top.
Yes,
and so obviously a lot of coaches can come in here with the right culture, the right ideas, the right mentality, but the beauty of coaching is being able to get 53 alpha males to be able to live it out on the field with each other, on and off the field. You've got that in Sam Darnold. You look at JSN, 4 catches for 27 yards in the Super Bowl. He didn't care. I mean, there were a couple of games where he didn't do anything. This is a guy who's chasing Calvin Johnson's record throughout the year. He doesn't care about his numbers. You've got Leonard Williams preaching selfless pass rushing. I mean, this is a guy who, if you let him just go and get his, he's he could probably be up there with Myles Garrett as one of the best pass rushers in the league. Yet he's preaching Mike Macdonald's mentality and what their principles, their core guiding values. Selfless pass rushing, 12 is 1, all this stuff. This locker room was special, man.
Yes.
It's so cool when you see the vision manifest itself on the field and play out the way you think it's going to. These guys genuinely care about each other. It's really cool to see the mixture of offense being friends with the defense, and it's not cliquey and all this stuff.
Yes.
Like it's just beautiful, to be quite honest. And that parade was just case in point. Like these guys just genuinely like loving it with each other after being absolute like robots the entire season, stacking days, stacking wins, like just really keeping it so minute to one day at a time and really focusing on winning that day. And you can say that all you want, but it's another thing to go out there and live it. And even when the stakes got high, before that, that second Rams game, before the 49ers game, when the stakes were so immensely high for how the rest of the season was going to play out, they're even keel. It's like any other week. Sam Darnold's just joking around with the media guy. I mean, it is literally like, it's so cool to see them just live it out.
Yes, it's very cool, and I said it before in the podcast. I feel like a proud dad about this team because you saw this team grow before our very own eyes, and they did it quickly. I mean, they went year to year, a couple big acquisitions. You added Eamon Warrior, you added Shaheed in sort of the middle of the season. So you added a few players, but for the most part, the core was always there. And it's great, like as a coach, when your leaders and your top players, your Ernest Jones, who's a quarterback of the defense, and he's on board.
Yep.
And his messaging is, hey, it's us against, if you ain't with us, you're against us, basically. I mean, I'm going to just put it nicely what he had to say. So, when you have leaders like that on the field that carry out the coach's message, that is the epitome of a team now. And that's what I agree with as far as what people were saying. This was just a complete team. When you look up team in the dictionary, this edition of the Seattle Seahawks will be right there, the picture, a team picture. And I wanted to correct you because you said 53. No, it's 70. Because think about this year. And Mike Macdonald, like Coach Mike Macdonald loves to say, it's 70. And he used them. He used those practice squad players. He brought up a Cam Akers when Zach Charbonnet went down.
Darion Kendrick was spectacular when Nicky Manwari went out.
Ty
Okada
disappeared. Ty Okada, when Kobe Bryant was out and Julian Love was out.
Jake Bobo catching a clutch touchdown in the NFC Championship game.
And going deep to Shaheed and just plays you didn't see all season long towards
Amari
the end of the
Kite
season.
coming in at left tackle.
I didn't even know who he was. I'm like, who is this guy?
Third string left tackle.
Yes. So it was a full team contribution to this championship. Everybody should feel proud because I feel like everybody was a part of it.
It was spectacular, and the parade yesterday was so unbelievably cool. I mean, the drinks were flowing.
Oh man!
I mean, they were just letting loose.
I couldn't partake, but it felt like I did. Trust me.
Just drunk on the energy.
Oh man, I'm just there, inhaling the fumes.
we got a bunch of sound prepared for you. Here's Derek Hall. And
who could have been
Jobe.
the MVP?
He could have been. I mean, Josh Jobe he had an incredible season as well. Here, I mean, they were feeling it at the parade.
Best fans in the world, man. This is unimaginable. Look at this, man. We just parlaying, man. This is for the city. This is for the 12s, man. All the hard work they put in all year. Hey, man, and we the best in the world. Ain't no denying that. Let's go.
Guess what? We best in the world, man. We did not care.
Talk about it. I mean, talk about embracing your head coach.
Right.
That we did not care.
Yes.
I mean, that's gonna go down in history alongside the "Don't you ever try me with a sorry receiver" like that.
I did. I ranked that number 2. I did a ranking.
Yeah.
I love my list, Ethan.
Yeah.
I ranked that as what the second iconic moment of in Seahawk football history. We did not care. It's about us. It was always about us. You got to finish that. It was about us. It was always about us. I love this coach, man. I mean, I think my affinity for this coach, I've been caping for him all year. I had to give him some straightening in the beginning of the season, definitely. But, nobody's perfect. But this coach right here just fits this city. He fits this team. He fits this organization. And I hope they lock him up and we can have him for as long as he wants to coach here.
Year 2 of his 6-year contract.
Yes.
I mean, this is
you
just
ain't going
the beginning.
nowhere.
This is just the beginning for Mike Macdonald. What I love about him is even in interviews, you can just tell he's so just authentically himself. He's not putting up a facade. He's not, doing stuff for the cameras. When he's talking about why he looked up to the heavens, after the Super Bowl and stuff, he's like, well, I didn't have anybody to celebrate with. The cameras were right in front of it. He's just talking us through his thought process.
Everything closing in on him, so he had to look up.
Yeah, he's just this overthinking football nerd, and I just love that so much. And how he preaches, he wants his guys to be authentically themselves, and we heard that so much from Pete Carroll, and it's just such a cool message to see that play out. And you see that at the very top. I mean, though that's two similar traits between Pete Carroll and Mike Macdonald, the two championship coaches of the Seattle Seahawks, is they were authentically themselves and their team followed suit. And they just embraced that about their head coach. It was just so cool to see.
And the common denominator is our general manager, John Schneider, who put this all together.
Yes, it is.
And found Coach Macdonald.
We need a statue for John Schneider.
I remember last season when they were looking for a coach, and I'm like, well, what's the holdup? Who are we waiting on? And thank goodness he waited for Coach Mike Macdonald for the Ravens to finish their run in the playoffs and brought him in. And I heard stories that he knew Coach Macdonald was his man. He just knew. And then the moves he made, the Shaheed move, bringing him in mid-season, some of the moves he didn't make, because I thought Tariq Woolen was a big part and put people in place when he came in. He afforded the opportunity for Devin Witherspoon to go rush and Eman Warrior to go rush and do some certain things because he took over the cover corner spot. So I think that's a piece that people like kind of mistake. Yes, Woolen had his warts, but he was a great player. John Schneider did not trade him or Mafe. So he got rid of Dodson and Baker. The minute Mike Macdonald said, hey, I don't think this is our linebacking crew, I don't think they're going to work here. Whatever dead money and cap money, I'm not all into that, but whatever they lost, they lost. They just got rid of and moved on from them players quickly. Moved on from a 10-win offensive coordinator and Ryan Grubb that everybody was screaming they wanted when he was with UW. So moved on from him also. So the moves he made, the moves he didn't make, John Schneider, hats off to you. You deserve this. 2 championships with 2 completely different teams. No holdovers, different personalities, different personnel, different way to do it. And he has 2 championships to show for it and finally get his just due as Pro Football Writers Association's Executive of the Year, Ethan.
Yeah, first general manager ever to win 2 Super Bowls with the same team with 2 completely different rosters and 2 completely different head coaches. You've never seen it ever, what John Schneider was able to accomplish this year. And we talked about it throughout the year. There or at some point on the podcast, there's no Seahawks statues at Lumen Field.
Right.
I think John Schneider deserves to be the first.
Oh, wow.
I think he does. I mean, your 2 Lombardi trophies in franchise history, both because of John Schneider at the very top, So I what he's been able to do is very cool. To close the episode, Dante, because we're still talking about all the good stuff, I would love to look ahead to next year. There's a lot of free agency talks to talk, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, but we got to finish glazing our Hawks.
Well, okay, so let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game a little bit because I have some sound that I want to play from Julian Love that I think is really cool. This defense. That defensive performance was so unbelievably special. I thought they were going to shut him out. I mean, in the that's never happened before in the Super Bowl. Some guy was giving me crap on Twitter for pointing that out. Maybe I jinxed it. Maybe you're right to give me crap, but I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was tracking.
It was trending that way.
6 sacks. Derek Hall with 2 sacks, the strip sack. Byron Murphy with 2 sacks. Uchenna Nwosu. I mean, we weren't even counting on him before the season with his injury history. Tied for a team lead with 7 sacks in the regular season, and then with a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, where's this defense without Uchenna Nwosu? You could say that about the entire team, but man, what a bonus to have him coming off the edge, and then to have Derek Hall and Boye Mafe coming off the bench in lesser roles. The depth along that defensive front because Uchenna Nwosu was such a key contributor. Man, you go on and on, but I mean, how awesome was that?
Don't leave out Riley
Mills.
Just
absolutely
rookie,
punching that
been
guard
hurt
in the
all
face.
season. Finally gets activated towards the end of the season. I was actually questioning before the game, where's Brandon Pilley? Why is Riley over top of him?
Well, and that's a guy. That's another depth piece where it's like, you're forcing good players onto the bench.
He wasn't even active for the Super Bowl.
It really is 70 guys.
Here is Mills, bull rushing, gets a sack as a rookie in the Super Bowl. Who would have thunk it? I
think that guard is still trying to get out of the dirt today as we speak. I mean, he just absolutely pummeled that guy. That rookie guy, I don't even know his name.
Yes.
I mean, he just
total team effort, man. Total team effort, But if I had to be critical, I was.
No, we don't have to be critical.
Yeah, I do because I have to be honest. That's just me. I'd have moved on to next year already.
All right, go for it.
I didn't like the cheap scores. Like, I wanted to see the shutout. I did. I thought they had that one good drive to answer the Barner touchdown where they drove the field in, I think, 2 or 3 plays. And then the last one, I thought they were playing prevent, so I don't know about that one. But, and I thought they were upset also. They even said as much, hey, we didn't want to give up nothing, but all in all, that was domination by a defense and an offense doing just enough. Now, I thought Sam Darnold had a great game. The completion percentage won't tell you the story of the game. He kept the ball out of harm's way, and you can clearly tell that's what he was doing. He put the ball in some spots where only his player can get it, or it was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of the first throws was like close, like too close for comfort, but they didn't get picked off, and it wasn't a turnover. The rest of the game, he was safe with the ball. He made that throw to Barner, a beautiful throw, which looked like the same play that JSN scored on the week before. They just switched the personnel and switched the direction, and here goes Clint Kubiak in his bag again. So, I mean, everything was right about this. I would like to see a little bit more touchdowns, but Jason Myers has been nails all year long. He's on scholarship too. Special teams have been great. You thought it would be Shaheed. It ended up being Myers and Dixon. So it's like, I'm thinking Shaheed might run one back, so I'm counting that as special teams. Here comes Myers, and here comes Dixon, who was great, who was equally as great. I think he had 3 punts inside the 6-yard line, so they won the field position game. It was just a complete team effort. You can give credit to just about everybody up and down the roster, including the coaches.
And that's what they've done all season long. And yes, you would have liked to see more touchdowns, but they didn't need it.
Right.
And Mike Macdonald talks about the game declaring itself. This was going to be a low-scoring, gritty game where winning the turnover battle was going to be paramount with how conservatively the Patriots were playing. And yes, you're right. Sam Darnold did sort of put the ball in harm's way a little bit at the start of the game. There were a couple of throws let's not do that, Sam. But I thought Sam Darnold came back from that, was very resilient, and he dealt with the Patriots' pressure a lot better than Drake May was able to deal with the Seahawks' pressure. He showed his experience. He showed his veteran leadership in a big game. Now, can we say that Sam Darnold can win the big game? Am I allowed to say that? National pundits and stuff. Like, he was spectacular. I thought, yes, you're right. The numbers themselves do not stand out. The completion percentage isn't great. But when you look at the big plays that needed to be made, Sam Darnold on key third downs, avoiding pressure, scrambling, making something out of nothing, and then finding a completion to move the sticks. Drake May wasn't able to do that. Either he was rushed and the pressure got to him, or he would rush a throw and it would be inaccurate. Like, you saw the difference, and I thought that was the experience talking. Sam Darnold, now we can say, has been there and has done that. He's very cool, calm, and composed in those situations. I thought he showed a lot of veteran leadership. I thought it was a very savvy game that he played, knowing what was needed of him and knowing they just needed to survive, get into field goal range, put points on the board, because that defense was not going to give up anything.
Yes, and the truth is finally coming out. I mean, you're hearing the Seahawks defensive players tell everybody, hey, we knew we won this game before we got on the plane.
Yep.
When we start watching film, if we shut Drake May down, they have nothing that can beat us. And that's the way they played this game. And they completely baffled Drake May, which is something I didn't think would happen. I understood he was a young quarterback, but I didn't think they can rattle him the way they did. But he was sitting back there patting the ball, had nowhere to go with the ball. We thought it was going to be a booty call, but it was but no.
Keyshawn Booty, guys. Keyshawn Booty.
But the line, he didn't answer. So, I mean, Sam Darnold was the veteran quarterback that did what he needed to do. And, it's a dirty word, game manager. But I give him credit. He managed this Super Bowl like he was supposed to. Like, he didn't try to be the hero. He didn't need to be the hero. So with that being said, the defense does win championships, but you need that veteran quarterback not to make mistakes and carry this team to victory.
I don't really think – I understand what you're saying, going with the game manager is a dirty word. I have a lot of respect for Sam Darnold because he can take over a game with his talent, yet he's okay being a game manager, playing smart because he knows what it takes to win. Like, sometimes playing winning football is being a game manager, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
So
you said it.
You mentioned the players before they off the plane felt like they were going to win that game. Julian Love was asked after the game, at what moment did he know that they got him? And his answer to me was stunning, and I think it just shows the confidence of this defense.
Honestly, mid first quarter, and it's not necessarily like, okay, we're gonna jump ahead or anything like that. It's like, okay, they have to earn each play. They might complete a pass here or there, they might break a tackle here or there, but that's the nature of our defense. We swarm to the ball, and we make them line it up and earn it each play. And it was just a style. It was a style thing. They were getting excited if they got a 4 or 5 yard run. And then, we create a negative play the next play. It's just us lining up again and again on defense to just impose our will.
Midway through the first quarter, Julian was like, yeah, we got these guys. Like, how crazy. In the Super Bowl.
Yes.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's not crazy at all if you watch
the second drive of the game.
Yeah, if you watch this team all season and the physicality that they've shown, I haven't seen another team in the NFL with the level of physicality that the Seahawks showed this year. They have been the more physical team all season long. And the first quarter, they started getting into Drake May's jersey a little bit, tugging it and dark hole bull rushing, and they all around him. He was getting nervous. They hit the running back a couple times. It was over. It was over. We felt that way. The only concern I had was, you didn't put up enough points. You had 6-0, okay? Somebody trip and fall. New England can be ahead with a touchdown and an extra point. Once it got to more than a one-score lead, I knew it was over. I didn't call it, but I knew it was over.
At 12-0, you're like, felt like, are the Patriots going to score twice?
Yes, yeah. No, not against this defense. I mean, the defense is great. You had, Ernest Jones with 11 tackles. You had Derek Hall he bull rushing. He gets the sack. He gets the fumble. He gets a couple sacks. He gets the forced fumble. And Devin Witherspoon was just electric. With plays that we haven't seen all season, him coming on that blitz, and we talked about it on previous podcasts where the Seahawks don't blitz. They don't blitz. And the Seahawks said, hold my beer, because in that Super Bowl, Devin Witherspoon was coming, and he wrecked Drake May's game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and Julian Love saying, like, they would get a 4 or 5 yard run and they were celebrating and stuff like that. To me, that reminds me of the Seahawks' other Super Bowl win against the Broncos, where it was like the defense was just so suffocating. Any 4 or 5 yard game felt like a win for the other team. And I mean, you remember that Demaryius Thomas player where he's coming over on the roster, a staple of that Broncos legendary offense. And Cam Chancellor, who was injured, by the way, comes down and just lays the boom on him.
Nope.
And it's like, 3 yard, like that's your bread and butter. No, we're not going to let you do that. Like that's what it felt like. This was a mismatch from the start. And I just love that Julian Love was like, midway through the first quarter.
Yes,
these guys do not match up with us.
Everybody said it.
It felt like
when
the
it was
entire season.
Yes,
was like that.
even before the Super Bowl. I mean, they were 4.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
You don't play the games on paper, but I think almost every expert to a man was like, this is a game that the Seahawks should win, but you have to play the game. So, I mean, they were favorites for a reason, and it was because of that defensive dominance they showed, and also the ability of Sam Darnold on that offense. You still had JSN. You had Ken Walker coming into his own, the Super Bowl MVP. So let's not forget about that offense. They were great also. This team is definitely, the defense is the leader of this team, but the offense is nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was really cool to hear from Sam Darnold yesterday at the parade. I want to play some sound with him, and then that's going to end with a really cool bite from Leonard Williams, a message to all the 12s out there.
A lot of people, didn't believe in me, but it didn't matter because the ones that are close believed in me, including y'all. I appreciate y'all so much.
It takes a team to get here, man. From the top to the bottom, John Schneider, Mike, the head coaches, the whole staff, the wives and the families, everybody supporting our dreams. To my brothers that I play with on every game day, man, it takes a journey. It takes a whole community to push in the right direction to get to this point. And I appreciate y'all. And hey, we not done. We coming back next year.
We are not done. Leonard Williams with the message to the 12s. Pretty cool.
Yes.
I mean, this team is not going to be complacent, and that sort of leads into our conversation about this offseason, which is a very big one for the Seahawks and John Schneider with the amount of free agents that they have. Do you want me to go down the list? And
yes, let's go down the list. You're talking about Ken Walker first and foremost.
Yeah, yep. So the list of guys who are now actually free agents: Ken Walker, Tariq Woolen, Josh Jobe, Boye Mafe, Kobe Bryant, Rashid Shaheed, Josh Jones, Tariq Young, and Chaz Surratt as well, but not exactly key contributors there.
I thought I heard, is Mike Bobo a restricted free agent also?
Jake Bobo?
I'm sorry, Jake. I'm dating myself, y'all. Mike Bobo was Georgia quarterback.
I can look.
I heard I thought I saw somewhere that Jake Bobo was a restricted free agent.
Okay, yeah. But so among those unrestricted guys, though,
yes.
how do we feel about that list?
I'm concerned. I'm always concerned, though. Because and it depends also. People say, let's do this, Ethan. Let's make a priority list. If you had to prioritize one to whatever, who are you calling first? And I during our live cast or watch party, I said if Ken Walker continues to run the way he's ran towards the end of the season, you have to call him first because Charbonnet is out.
Yeah.
So you want to keep some continuity when you move on to the next season. And right now, there is no continuity if you don't have Ken Walker, who was a big part of winning this Super Bowl. Of course, he was Super Bowl MVP, and he looked great in the playoffs. So you definitely have to call Ken Walker first. But I believe there has to be a price that the Seahawks have. And if it's too rich for their blood, you have to part ways, because Ken Walker has been here for, I believe, 4 or 5 years already. So he has a full body of work. Yes, he caught a heater towards the end of the season, and you get a bonus for that. But you still are who you are to the previous 4 years.
Yeah.
So, but Ken Walker is saying, hey, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
And I agree with that, but I still think it should be a cap on how much you pay Ken Walker.
Yeah. By the way, Jake Bobo is a restricted free agent. You're right on that one. So, I mean, and he's a key piece as well.
Yes.
More depth, though. Like, he's not really high up on that priority list. For me, absolutely Kenneth Walker is number one. And I do agree with you on I am a little bit scared to commit to him with a bunch of guaranteed money because he's a guy that we know can't handle a full workload for an entire season because of the injury concern. Now, the Zach Charbonnet injury absolutely plays into your decision and how much you need to go after him and bring him back this year. What I think happens is if you can't get him to a number, you franchise tag him for a year, and then you sort of reconsider next year when you have Zach Charbonnet healthy, and you can sort of factor that into the equation. But right now, I think the Seahawks are pretty desperate at running back, not having Charbonnet. You need to get Ken Walker back into the fold, and I wouldn't be mad at giving him a 3 or 4 year contract. But you just need. He's a guy where you know what's under the hood more so than other teams.
Yes.
So he's a guy you need to have a complementary partner with him, and I think this much to the dismay of many and fantasy owners everywhere, Ken Walker did not get the bulk of the workload this entire year. He did at the end of the year when he was still fresh per se compared to if he'd been the bell cow. But he's not a guy who you can just rely on and have as a 3-down back the entire season because he's shown that he will get injured throughout a season.
Yes, and those are some questions. Could he carry the load? I'm sure he feels he could, and I think we also had to learn about Ken Walker and how to, kind of highlight his game. Now, we talked about it in previous podcasts we talked about everything. It was about touches more than rushes. He's not the 20 to 25 hand it off and let him, bounce and go up the middle. No, but he does need his touches, and they started to incorporate him more in the run game, in the pass game with the screen game, and he was fantastic in that. In that screen game. So I think you want more of that. So I think this team has learned kind of a sweet spot that they didn't have in Ken Walker's previous years. So it might be more that Ken Walker can do. He might be that feature back where he can carry that load. It's just going to look different. It's not going to be 20 handoff. It need to be 20-plus touches.
Yeah, I'm assuming they will bring Ken Walker back. I'm assuming that'll be at the top of John Schneider's list. I still worry about that running back spot behind him without Charbonnet, at least at the start of the year.
Yes, I mean, his durability is in question.
Yeah.
And that's fair because he's a veteran now. Mm-hmm. He's not a young player with a year or two on the roster. No, he's been here a good 4 years, so we know who Ken Walker is as far as his durability. This was the first season he played a full season, and he had less carries than Zach Charbonnet during the regular season, just by a few. But Zach Charbonnet, it was pretty much a 50-50 split. Yeah. So when you got a 50-50 split, you're able to be fresh during the playoffs. And, I mean, he was explosive. What more can you say? Super Bowl MVP. He went to Disneyland. Yeah. I mean, come on. This guy. But
him and Sam in the teacups.
Yes, but I do think it should be a cap on his price. And what that is, John Schneider knows. I trust him. I feel the same way right now as I did with the Mariners. I come in with some concerns at the beginning of the season because some of the moves that was made and wasn't made. But then after you saw the team come together and the way that the GM and the president put it together, now, hey, John Schneider can do no wrong. I trust John to get the job done.
You mentioned Ken getting involved in the pass game. My favorite play of the entire Super Bowl, Clint Kubiak was in his bag, by the way, and good luck to him with the Raiders. I think he's going to be great. They motioned JSN into the backfield and sort of that formation where they've been killing dudes, right? That is like alert, all eyes on JSN at that point. They sort of use him as a decoy, and they run a screen to Kenneth Walker on the opposite side, on the right side. Goes for 13 to 15 yards. But just that play design and incorporating two of your biggest weapons and using them in that way, I thought it was absolutely spectacular. Yes. So speaking of Ken Walker in the passing game, I wanted to bring that up. The priority list gets a little harder as you get past Kenneth Walker. Now I want keep in mind the Seahawks have the 5th most cap space in the entire league heading into this offseason as Super Bowl champs. So that is pretty cool.
And the cap going up, too.
And the cap is going up as well. So very cool. The priority list gets a little tough. You got, mention the names. Reek Woolen, Josh Jobe, Boye Mafe, Kobe Bryant, 4 key guys on defense. Rashid Shaheed was spectacular on the offensive side of the ball. Josh Jones, a backup tackle, but I think depth along that offensive line we saw was incredibly valuable this year. Is he above any of those guys? No, but I really, really want to see them bring Josh Jones back. If I had to rank a top 3, I would do Ken Walker. I would do that's hard. Josh Jobe is in my top 3, and I would prioritize Josh Jobe over Reek Woolen personally, because of the inconsistencies that we've seen in Reek's play. I would love to bring Reek back, but if a team's willing to give him the bag, that's maybe a guy's cost of doing business. That's one that you might have to let go.
Yes.
I think. I would prefer to see Josh Jobe back. Kobe Bryant, I'm sort of 50. I would love to have Kobe back as well, but you've got to, Ty Okada. He's not really a like for like. He's more of a free safety as opposed to a strong safety like Kobe. So Kobe, I would say, is in that 3 fringe range. Rashid Shaheed, I would love to bring back, but how repetitive is he with Torrey Horton? But then you've got the injury concerns with Torrey Horton as well. So that's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's really hard. Boye Mafe was spectacular down the stretch. He's one that I don't know if they're going to bring back. Pass rushers go for a lot. I feel like you have some depth there with Chenna coming back. You got Derek Hall, DeMarcus Lawrence now. It's just totally locked down that starting spot.
Witherspoon and JSN are due for extensions.
Exactly. So you got to save money there. You can't bring everybody back.
You can't.
If you had a top 3, though.
Yeah, my top 3 would be Ken Walker, Tariq Woolen, and Kobe Bryant. Those would be my top 3. But I don't know if the Seahawks can afford Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen wants to be paid like a frontline cornerback, and he was a All-Pro, I believe, or at least a Pro Bowler his rookie season.
Yeah,
He's
Pro
had
Bowler's
some
rookie
solid
year, yeah.
seasons, so he should be getting his money. I don't know if the Seahawks can afford that. Now, Kobe Bryant, they gave him a chance to find a position. He was on a roster flailing at cornerback. Finally found a safety position. So, do any of these players want to run it back and maybe give I hate to say it, a hometown discount?
Yeah.
Do any of those players do that? If it would be probably Kobe Bryant. But the Shaheed, I think Shaheed is probably gone. I hate to say that, but Torrey Horton ran a punt back before Shaheed did. But like you said, you can't help the club in the tub. He's not available right now. He went out with a shin injury, and then he just disappeared. I didn't hear an update. I didn't even know if he was on a roster anymore. Torrey Horton, what happened to that guy? Because he was dynamic.
They had said it was a lot. It was worse than they had anticipated.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. But he was dynamic. I mean, he probably still in the top 5 of rookies with touchdowns. He had 5 touchdowns and
12 catches
in a half a season, and that's probably up there with the rookie leaders. So he was dynamic, and I was looking forward to seeing his game breaking during the season, during the Super Bowl, whenever. But he didn't come back. So I think you have somebody to replace Shaheed there in Torrey Horton. Hopefully, he can stay healthy, and the draft will be big, especially when you look at need. And if I have to look at those needs, cornerback, running back, and wide receiver in that order would probably be my priority list on a draft.
It's really nice to not have any of the trenches listed there. That's
but you always got to get one though.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get one. You got to try to find one.
Yeah,
you need big people.
I mean, the Seahawks are in a position to be Super Bowl contenders every single year for the next 5 years. I mean, you've got a quarterback who's not even in the top 10 of cap hit or average salary per year. You're going to have to pay JSN and Devin Witherspoon, but just not having that quarterback that's sinking, the cost of the entire team and the cap and everything just opens so much up in what you're able to do. And you can have a conversation of overpaying for Kenneth Walker to get him back. You can have a conversation to bring back Reek and Josh Jobe, or, 2 of the 3 guys between those 2 and Kobe Bryant on the defensive side. Like, you can have these conversations because you're not putting so much money into the quarterback position. And that is just well done, John Schneider.
Yes.
To get a guy in Sam Darnold who you knew was at least going to be solid, get him on a team-friendly deal, knowing that he had this type of ceiling with the talent just in the right situation. I mean,
now let me ask you a question I asked during the stream, and I asked a couple of times. Do you rip up Sam Darnold's contract and pay him top-rate money?
Not this year.
I'm not saying $50 million like some of the, Mahomes and the Josh Allens, but do you? He's at $33 million a year, or just about. Do you bring him up to the 40s? He's won a championship.
You don't need to.
Well, it's all about respect, and I don't know, Sam Darnold's personality, and I don't know his goals, but it's all the only way right now. He's a champion. The only way to show respect now is through the money. Like, do you rip up that contract and maybe give him a couple more dollars?
By that,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, by that logic and that argument, though, of showing respect, you should. I mean, every single player on this team deserves a raise. Like, Nicky Manwari deserves an extension tomorrow. He's still on his rookie deal. So Sam Darnold, he signed a 4-year deal. I think there's an opt-out after year 3 or something like that. For this year, he's playing on that contract. I know the Seahawks are not going to do a thing because they're very set. And I know Curtis said this on the podcast. They don't do rework deals or extensions with more than a year left on the deal. So that is a philosophy that the Seahawks organization is set. You don't even have to think about that. And I'm sure Sam Darnold knows that. So if he, I don't know, if he's holding out and stuff, then we have a conversation there. Haven't heard anything about that, but you just don't really need to think about it. You've got so many other things that you got to worry about before then, and that's the benefit of the contract that he signed. Right.
So
it's not like he's making peanuts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And let me ask you this, because we're running out of time, but I have to. You were down in Santa Clara doing this whole week, man. I know you had a fantastic time. But we're going to skip to after the game. They win the championship. You were there with the confetti on the ground. You saw the players running around. Describe that scene to the people.
Well, I actually wasn't on the field,
no?
Which was pretty crazy. No, I was in the You saw the Julian Love soundbite. That was sort of the mini podium room. We had to get there.
Oh, okay. You was working.
Yeah, it was sort of a bummer to not be able to be on the field. Aaron and Alyssa were, and the other people in our crew were there. I mean, the video. So I wasn't really able to like process the win until. I mean, it really did not hit until the parade. Really. Okay. Like that was. I was like, oh my gosh, like. Just seeing all the people with their families and celebrating with the fans and feeling that energy, like that's where it really hit for me. Because I mean, like being at the Super Bowl was absolutely incredible, but I mean, like we were grinding, like it was just go 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 go. Unbelievable experience. I have so many moments that I look back and reflect on, like holy crap, I got to experience that. But yeah, as far as like, it definitely was not the usual. It was a lot different than when they won the Super Bowl in 2013. I'll tell you that with like my personal experience as like being a fan of this team since I was 5 years old. Like it was very different, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, it was magical. It was just so cool to be so close to the team and everything. And I mean, we're world champs. Like the Seattle Seahawks are world champions. It's still surreal to say.
Yes,
so.
I mean, it feels great. Do they do it next year?
Man, I mean, if they don't, I mean, I'm seeing like the early odds that they're gonna be up there. As I think the Rams have better Super Bowl odds than them right now, and then it's the Seahawks. Man, if you're counting out this team, you did not watch a lick of football this year. Because Mike Macdonald, think about, and yes, the argument that they have a lot of free agents is fair, but think about when guys went out this year. We talked about Amari Kite coming in for Charles Cross and Josh Jones at left tackle and holding it down. Ty Okada was absolutely spectacular when Julian Love missed basically half the year. Darion Kendrick, nobody had heard of him, he had an interception in the red zone against the Steelers when Nicky Manwari is out. I mean, the list goes on and on. Guys stepping up when it matters the most. I mean, Eric Saubert and Nick Hallerup stepping in when Elijah Arroyo's out. Like, just Brandon Peely and Mike Morris and Riley Mills. Like, the depth on this team. And, all these players are so talented. They're in the NFL. But my belief in Mike Macdonald to get the most out of every single player on the Seahawks team is just sky high.
Yes.
So no matter what happens, and I know John Schneider's going to do an excellent job. You can't bring back everybody. Whatever happens, Mike Macdonald's going to have these guys ready to play, and you still have the core foundation of that defense, of that offense. You're not losing a Leonard Williams. You're not losing a DeMarcus Lawrence. You're not losing a Sam Darnold, JSN, Devin Witherspoon, like a Cooper Kupp, whose leadership has been foundational to this team. Like, you're not losing any of those guys. This offensive line is going to stay together. Yes. Man, like, these guys are here to stay. These guys are here to stay. And that's what we'll end on.
Yes,
I feel like.
Yes, let's end it right there.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we can't end it there. We got to end it on the picks.
Oh, congratulations again, Austin, for the third week. Look, he done put a medal on himself. Come on, Austin. Man, Austin, come on, man.
You need somebody with just elite Photoshop capabilities.
It looked like it's choking him. It looked like it's pinching his Adam's apple. No, that's not elite.
Nah, the only guy that choked was me this year, man. I had like a 10-game lead. I didn't want to.
Congratulations again, Austin. You're the champion, man. You're the champion.
We'll end it on a note because the Seahawks team's here to stay. 5th youngest roster in the NFL. What more do you got to say?
Future is bright.
Future is so bright for the Seattle Seahawks. That has been... that was season 2, episode 1, by the way, of the On the Sidelines podcast.
Yeah.
Forgot to open it up with that. Austin,
and make sure you subscribe to YouTube, Fox 13 Seattle, and check out all the episodes on the Sidelines podcast.
Give us a follow on our Instagram. We're posting a bunch of clips there. We're coming at you on a Thursday, not our usual day. We're going to be back to Wednesdays in the future. Going to be a lot of fun. But for DJ Dante Jackson, I'm Ethan McReynolds. See you next time on the Sidelines.
Let's go!
On the Sidelines is available wherever you get your podcast.
Champions!